A couple weeks ago in a video, I asked my subscribers to send me their favorite books of 2024 because I wanted to make this video where I read your best books of last year. I'm super excited about this vlog, but before I get into the video, I do just want to say that if for some reason I don't have the same opinion about a book that you do, like if I don't like a book that you love or vice versa, that's totally okay. I want to make it very clear that we can all have our own different opinions about books, about our favorites and least favorites. I know some of my favorite books are very much people's least favorite books, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, but with that being said, to start out this vlog, this person, I'll put the picture on the screen here, commented that they think that I should read The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I know it's going to be hard to show this cover because it's very reflective, but this cover is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I'll show it close up right here. It's very reflective. I'm loving all the teal and blue with bronze elements and the beautiful picture of the girl in the middle. And I'm really excited to have this in paperback copy because I remember I looked at the indie published versions. I think there were indie published versions of this book before it got traditionally published and got this new cover, and I'm sorry, the covers are ugly. They are. It is possible to have a great book with an ugly cover. Like, I've definitely read some of those in the past. I'm just saying that, like, I would not want to own physical copies of those books, but this is a stunning cover, and I love all the other ones in the series as well. I'm just going to put a picture on the screen, though, because I feel like it's going to be very reflective and annoying for me to hold this up. But I am currently, just to show you, about 20-25% of the way through this book. I'm exactly 100 pages in. To be honest, I have some feelings about this book, but I want to talk plot first. So the synopsis says that this book is about a girl named Laura who goes to marry the king of a separate kingdom. So basically become the spy for her kingdom by infiltrating the enemy. Now, if you look at the map in this book, I think it is super cool. So this is the kingdom where she is from down here, and then the Bridge Kingdom, or Ithacana, is this like middle section, which is like an archipelago of islands that is all connected by one long bridge, which is really interesting. And because it connects the top and bottom continents, it basically acts as like the controller of all the trade in the region, which is a really cool concept. And so Laura is from the south continent, but she goes up to the Bridge Kingdom and marries their king. Now, at the beginning of this book, I want to say something that's not on the synopsis, but I don't think it's a spoiler because it happens in the first like 5 pages. But if you don't want to know, skip ahead like 20 seconds, okay? But basically, before Laura went to marry the king, she was actually growing up with like 12 sisters, I think, in this very secluded oasis in the desert. And the king of her kingdom, aka her father, was basically going to choose the best out of all the sisters and send them to marry the king. But Laura didn't think that she was going to be chosen, so she ended up poisoning all of her sisters and making the king basically choose her. Now, they weren't actually dead, but they were poisoned enough to fake their death so that they could escape because Laura didn't think that the king would leave them all alive. Really cool concept. The beginning chapter had my jaw dropped. I was like immediately hooked in. And then after that, I wouldn't say it went downhill per se, but I would say that it just fell into a very tropey plot that we've kind of seen before. It's an arranged marriage, right, with the king, whose name is Aaron. It is dual POV, by the way, so we do get a couple chapters from his point of view, but I'm not sensing anything particularly astounding about him so far. He is our classic muscled, dark-haired king who is not an old man who may actually care for the country. His character might need to be fleshed out a little bit more from what I have so far. But yeah, she's basically being portrayed as the trophy wife and is trying to convince everyone in this kingdom that she is just a helpless little doe-eyed blonde girl. Although she does say that she can fight and that she can take care of herself because she grew up in the oasis where they were trained to fight and to know politics and things like that. However, as of right now, it's like all bark, no bite, because she keeps saying that she knows how to wield a knife, kill off whoever she needs to, etc. But all we've seen so far in the book is her poisoning people to get what she wants, and that's basically it. So I have seen no proof of this like fighting badass heroine that we apparently are talking about. So hopefully we get a little bit more of that in the coming pages. We will just have to see as I continue reading how this goes, but I am excited to continue and to read some of your favorite books. So with that being said, if you guys want to see more reading vlogs from me, I post new videos every single Thursday on this account. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, let's get right into reading. Hey besties, how are we? So it's time for the first wrap up of this video so far because yesterday I finished The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. This book and I went on quite a journey, okay? Basically, I told you guys when I started this video that the beginning of this book, like the first chapter, was so shocking, right? But then I was kind of just like slugging through the middle part. I was just like, you know, that's kind of boring. The characters are just fine. The plot is fine. It's predictable, arranged marriage. Like, we've all kind of seen it before. And I've heard good things about this book, don't get me wrong, and I want to love it because I bought it physically. I don't buy books physically unless I think I'm actually going to really enjoy them. But I was honestly forcing myself to read it because I'm in the middle of also reading a different book in a different video, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I think you guys have already seen this book by the time that this video comes out, but nevertheless, I'm reading something else, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, I need to read 50 books of this every single day, and then afterwards I can read the other book, right? So I'm honestly like rewarding myself to read a different book by finishing more of this. And that's not how reading should work, right? I shouldn't be forcing myself to read something I don't want to if I have nothing telling me I have to read it besides myself. So I was kind of forcing through it, and then one night, so what day is it? It's Sunday, so that was Friday night. I was in my bed like this, reading, and then I said, you know what? Why am I forcing myself to read through something I don't want to read? I'm not enjoying myself. So I did this, and I basically DNF'd the book. At 40%, I simply don't care. However, the next day I woke up yesterday and I was going to be watching YouTube videos as I was filming a different video for my bullet journal channel, right? And the first video I click on is a reading vlog of one of my favorite creators named Maddie reading this book in a 24-hour reading challenge and loving it. She gave it 4.5 stars, and I said, what am I missing? What is it about this book that everyone likes that I'm missing? So unfortunately, I did succumb to FOMO and I pulled up the audiobook of this book online. It got me through it. So I listened to half of this book, like from 40% to 90% yesterday on audiobook while I was filming a different video yesterday. And then after I finished filming, I just picked up the rest and got through the last like 25, 40 pages-ish on my own time. And I'm proud to say that I did finish it, okay? I pushed through, I completed this book, yes. However, was it a fun time? No, it was not. I'm so sorry, it was not. This book has its merits, it does. But I in total gave it 3 stars, and that was not generous, but I was just like, it's so mid. It's really just center of the line, basic mid book. It's very similar feelings to me as Spark of the Everflame feels. It's not terrible, but I just have no feelings for it. I have no love for it in my heart at all. Now, what I think is good about this book is the atmosphere, the setting. It's very jungly, it's very island, boats, ships, like storms, rain, snakes in the jungle. Like, I think the atmosphere, the vibes are so cool. But the plot of this book itself was just so mid. Like, I was guessing things left and right before they happened. Nothing really shocked me. The characters were fine. Like, Erin's fine, Laura's fine, but they're not cool. Like, they're not awesome, you know, to me. And again, if you love this book, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm really not. I'm just trying to be honest, okay? My book channel is here for me to share my honest opinions about books that I read, and I'm very glad that you guys loved this book, but unfortunately for me, it was just so mid. It was so mid. So with that being said, I finished it, but I am really debating whether or not I want to actually pick up the next in this series. In fact, I don't think I will, because what's the point when I have a bajillion other books on my want to read list instead of this one? You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little conflicted about that. That's me being honest. Let's move on to the next one. This angle might be a little weird. It's very cloudy outside, so it's like very dark in here, and also I'm like washing my sheets. My tummy hurts, in case you wanted to know. Anyway, the next book that I wanted to pick up as per my subscribers' request was one that I just put on my February TBR, so I'm glad that it overlaps when I was looking at my comments. And also one that I have been putting off for a long time. I've had this book on my TBR as well, just like my general Goodreads list for years probably at this point. And so it's not to keep you guys in suspense. The book I'm talking about here is A Love Letter to Whiskey. Now, I have heard that there are 2 versions of this book. There's the original version, and then there's the 5th anniversary edition. And Larry says to read the 5th anniversary edition because I think based on the chapters, the first half of the book is the original book, and then it has a second half that's kind of like from the guy's point of view. So it is actually longer than I thought it was, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. I got to 10% on my Kindle last night. Actually, I think 11%, if that makes any difference. And besides knowing that it's a really sad book, and it's about, I'm assuming, like alcoholism, Love Letter to Whiskey, hello, like it's pretty clear in the name. Besides that, I don't know anything about the plot, and I don't think the synopsis really tells you much either. So just from the first 10%, what I've gathered is we have our main character, Brex, but she likes to go by B instead. And she has a best friend named Jenna. She and Jenna were running one day, and they run into this guy named Jamie, and she is absolutely taken with this guy. She was about to, you know, like, I don't know, ask for his number or something, but then he turns and sees Jenna, who is a blonde, beautiful, long-legged cheerleader, and immediately he's like obsessed with her. And so she can like see in his eyes the moment it clicks from looking at her to being obsessed with Jenna. And then they start dating, and B is like third wheeling their relationship, and I know that this is going to be the love interest. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go down with her and Jenna's relationship, even if they do break up. Like, I don't know, I'm curious how it's going to go. We've already gotten a lot of friendship between her and Jamie. Then they go to football games together to watch Jenna because Jenna's a cheerleader, so they, you know, sit and support her. And again, it's platonic because he's dating Jenna, but then also I feel like there's some feelings there. And he's also in the year above her, so he's leaving to go to college before she is. And yeah, it's just an interesting story so far of a girl with a crush in high school. And tell me, that is relatable. That is relatable. I'm in college now, but like I can get behind this girl. And also what's interesting is this girl, Brex B, I need to stop saying Brex because she doesn't like being called Brex, so I should call her B. Number one, she has a lot of trauma that she's working through. There's a situation that I will not spoil, but she has daddy issues and kind of mommy issues at the same time. And then also what's interesting is she's actually a mixed character, and I'm mixed, so I guess I can relate to her on that level, although it's kind of annoying. I didn't realize I hated this until I got to the book, and like this line in the book, and then I read it and I was like, I hate this. Being referred to as a mocha latte. Don't liken my skin color to coffee, please. Let's not. Okay, I don't want that term ever used again, but I digress. It's a small thing in the book that I can look over. So anyway, I'm enjoying this so far. I just want to read more of it and kind of see like what's going on. But I do have a very exciting package that I wanted to bring into this video because, well, let me just show you. I feel like this box is very recognizable. Yay! Okay, this is not a sponsorship, okay? So before you like skip ahead 40 seconds, I'm not sponsored by Book of the Month, but I fell into their marketing trap of during the month of January, you could get your first book for $5.99 and they get you a free hat along with it. Let me do a little unboxing. That was a little cringy. Yay! I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, first the hat because it's on top. It's actually so cute. It says book person on it. If you can see, it's like embroidered in white on this like denim hat. Okay, well, it's not fitting my head because I have a bun, so it's not gonna fit properly, but just like imagine the vibes, okay? Do you get the picture? I don't know. I think it's gonna be so cute, so I'm excited about this. And then, oh my goodness, the book that I'm so excited for that they were offering in their January picks. I'm sure you guys have seen this because it's kind of been all over the internet recently. The book is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This cover I think is stunning. It's two figure skaters and like all the gold and the sparkly. It's not actually reflective, but it looks like it's reflective. Yeah, wow, I'm super excited. And the fact that this is going for $28 and I got it for $5.99. Like, what a steal. So those are my updates. With that being said, I'm going to go read more of the whiskey book. Well, Love Letter to Whiskey. I should call it by its proper name. Love Letter to Whiskey. Hello guys, happy Thursday. I feel like there are a lot of noises with like the AC in this room, so hopefully it's not too bad, but I have some updates because I'm currently 40% of the way through Love Letter to Whiskey. However, because the book is divided into the girls half and the guys half, I'm actually like 2/3 of the way through the girls half, if that makes sense. So I want to talk about it. I feel like there's just too many noises. Let me like shut this off. That's much better. Okay, anyway, this book is making me. And okay, the point is it's supposed to make me annoyed. So like it's doing its job, but like I'm pissed off at these characters. I like Jamie, kind of. Jamie's the guy. I have some issues with, my thoughts are all over the place. Okay, let me focus. Let me get my head straight. The main girl, B, I feel like has a lot of trauma that she's working with. However, she's also a very flawed character, and she makes a lot of mistakes in this book, like moral mistakes that I feel like are not hard to support as a character because I get where she's coming from partly, but also I'm like, again, I want to shake her because I'm like, B, bestie boo, you have to pull yourself together. You have to. This is not a spoiler, but just so you know the tropes in this book, if you don't want to know a trope, skip forward 10 seconds. There is the cheating trope in this book, not with each other, but cheating on other people. And it's not a trope that dissuades me from reading a book necessarily. I don't condone cheating by any means, but I do think that like if it's in a book, I'm still going to read it if it's recommended to me. However, I'm just like watching these characters and I'm like, babe, you have to do better. You have to be a better person. Because these people don't deserve it. They really don't. And then talking about Jamie, I like him a lot more when he's older than I do when he was younger. I feel like he made a lot of mistakes when he was younger as well. I mean, both of them did, of course. Being in high school, early college is much different than like being a young adult going into the career. But I feel like like more when they were younger, he was more of the issue. I don't know, because she also has her issues as well. But now that they're like slightly older, he wants nothing but to be with her. He loves her so much. It's so obvious in the way that he speaks to her. And she is so vehemently against a long distance relationship. I'm like, oh my god, I just want to shake her. I just want to shake her. Is it difficult to have a long distance relationship? Yes. However, okay, if it's the right person, then it'll work out. Like, you're just expecting everything to go wrong, and you need to open yourself up to other options that aren't like this perfectly crafted life for yourself. Anyway, I'm trying to say the most vague thing possible and not spoil, but like, it's making me annoyed. It's making me annoyed. And the point is, it's supposed to, like, they're not supposed to have this very sweet, easy relationship. It's supposed to be a very rocky road. But I'm just like, I want to read it because I want to know what happens, but I don't want to read it because every time I do, I want to throw the book across the room because I'm like yelling at the characters. If I had someone like Jamie in my life, I would not be acting like me. Let's just put it like that. Okay, I would not. But in better news, I actually got another book package, which I'm super excited about. I don't actually like buy books that often. I mean, I kind of do buy books that often, but like I just happened to buy a couple last week and they were coming in. This one was also bought with a bargain. Thank you. I am not here for spending $30 on a book if I can avoid it. So I got this book on Pango Books, which is a secondhand book selling app that I can sell and buy books on. I love it because I can get books for a couple dollars plus shipping instead of having going to Barnes and buy it for like 20. It's so nice. So I have a little package to unbox with you guys again in this video. Oh my gosh, wait, I'm so excited. This is so cute. This seller wrapped up the book and put a little sticker on it that says like, thank you for your purchase. That's so adorable. I don't know if you guys could see through like the tissue paper what this book is, but ACOTAR! Oh my god, this is actually crazy for me that I'm actually holding this book. I read this series, the ACOTAR series, for the first time, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 years ago, and I read it on my Kindle, so I never actually owned the paperback versions. I have her other series, like right here, both of them, but I never owned ACOTAR in paperback, and then I recently reread Silver Flames over the summer, and I realized I wanted to get back into this world again, so I'm going to be ordering them slowly, secondhand, so that they're much cheaper than buying like the box set for like $150 on Amazon. But this is like in perfect condition, to be honest. That's why I like buying secondhand. It's perfect. It's just cheaper. That's my book mail for the day. That's 2 books in this video already. I'm going to go. I have editing to do, work to do. I have classes in a bit. Like, I gotta go. I gotta go. But we'll talk soon. Hey guys. Hi. This is the face of someone who has bad news yet again. Can you tell? Okay, not bad news, but I wish it was better news, to be honest. And just to get it out of the way, I gave Love Letter to Whiskey 3.5 stars. Sorry guys. This isn't actually that bad of a rating, to be honest. It's very much like mid rating. However, it was not a 5-star like I was anticipating, unfortunately. Everyone and their grandmother adores this book, cries over it, loves it, highlights the crap out of it. And honestly, I can see where that's coming from. After finishing the whole thing, my big general thoughts are, I get that it's a very emotional love story with a lot of back and forth. And especially if you've been through a situation similar to this, or you can relate to the characters, I get why it would like make you cry. But unfortunately for me, it just did not hit. Number 1, I don't relate to this experience, thank God. Number 2, I'm realizing that maybe this isn't the trope for me, and by trope I mean right person, wrong time, because the first half of this book, or 60% from B's point of view, the girl, was just back and forth over like 10-15 years of their relationship, like always having someone else preventing them from being together, and then them just cheating on their romantic partners at the time to be with each other in like a desperation crazy night or something, and then you just repeat the cycle when they separate. It's just like back and forth and repetitive to the point where the first couple boyfriends and girlfriends, I was like, okay, I understand that this is the cycle we have to go through to get through this book, but then it got like a little too much, and I was like, are we still doing this? And then you finish B's point of view and you flip the page and it's Jamie's point of view of the entire story again, using all the same scenes, mostly some of the same quotes exactly. It's just his thoughts that are different. So his part of the book, albeit it was shorter, but it gave me nothing more, because yeah, it was a little emotional reading his POV, sure, but it's the same thing. It's just more of that repetitiveness. It's more of that dread, toxicity in romance. It can be written well, even though it's a bad thing in itself. However, if it's not written well, then what's the point of reading it? You know, it wasn't awful. There were definitely some redeeming qualities. I liked the moral quandary that B had with her father and her parents. Some of the quotes were actually really nice in here. Oh, I also want to say, this entire vlog I've been saying that this book is about alcoholism. It's not. I think I was missing the memo the entire time. The Love Letter to Whiskey part is literally just a metaphor for the guy. It's not anything to do with being sober. And it is a little misleading at the beginning because she's talking about being sober for X amount of years, but I think it's just being sober from him. So I like the metaphor idea. It's just I honestly wasn't getting the memo for a while there. That's a me problem, I feel. So if you have a trigger to like people who are like addicted to alcohol, things like that, you will not have a problem with this book because it's literally just like a simile, figure of speech. But anyway, yeah, not for me, unfortunately. I hope you guys enjoy this book, adore it, cry over it. It's not the one for me. So you'll see in the next clip whatever book I pick up. Would it be a video of mine if I'm not stressing out about a pimple on my forehead? Short answer, no, it would not. It's been a hot second since I have filmed content for this vlog. I took a week off to film for a different vlog. Now I'm back. And yesterday I finished the third and final book for this video. So I was going to talk about it in between listening to it because I listened to the book on audio, but I just binged the entire thing basically in one shot while I was filming my March plan with me for my other channel, my bullet journaling channel. So I basically listened to the entire book without talking about it. So here I am to discuss it. The book that I read was All Systems Red. I think I'll put it on this side. Anyway, All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first book in a series called the Murderbot series. I think this is 7 books. The first 4 are like novellas and there are a couple full-length novels, and it's all sci-fi about this one character, Murderbot. Now, I've heard a lot about this book online, specifically from creators that I watch who read more sci-fi and other types of like fantasy, things like that. And I've heard really good things about this series, which is why whenever someone suggested it to me in my comments, I wanted to pick it up. Just for context, this is about a robot called Murderbot. There really is no name for this character. We're in their POV, but we don't know their gender because they're a robot. We don't know like how old they are, things like that. Again, they're a robot, but they have life to them. Like it's not just a machine, like it's a person, but it kind of walks that line because it has been programmed, formatted to be this robot of destruction, kind of. It's supposed to follow orders, be put in these places, you know, murder people if need be. However, we're in their point of view as the readers, and so we know that this being has thoughts, it has emotions, although it tries to suppress those emotions a lot, and it is more than just a machine, but it's also not completely human. Like it's in that line somewhere, which I think is something that, from what I've heard, sci-fi tackles a lot. I'm not really a big sci-fi reader, I haven't read much of it, but I've heard that sci-fi is really popular for answering that question, or trying to, like, what deems something like a being with consciousness, and like what does it mean to be human, what does it mean to be not, things like that. So it was my first delve into something like that. As far as plot goes, this book is actually like 150 pages because it is a novella, so it's quite short. So I didn't really want it to say much because 100 pages in is most of the book, so that'd be like all spoiler territory, you know what I'm saying? I will say that this book did take a turn halfway through that I wasn't expecting, so I did appreciate like that there were some twists in this book despite how short it was. But all I can really tell you is that we follow our main character, Murderbot, who is being assigned under this group of people, and they live somewhere that's not Earth, and they're trying to solve an issue that arises in their sci-fi dystopian kind of world, atmosphere, things like that. Like I said, this is all very new territory for me. I honestly was thinking about saving this book for a video where I'm like trying new genres, things like that. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed the discussion about, like I said, like human versus not. I liked being in Murderbot's head. I think it was kind of funny because like the character itself has some humor to it, although it's very dry, but you can see it's trying to push away those emotions that it's feeling, whether that is like uncomfortableness, anxiety, whether it's like feeling emotions for other people, like the humans that the bot is surrounded by, and they want to just like push that down and shove it down. They want to be as emotionless as possible, but they obviously can't. So that was a really interesting thing. However, I'm not gonna lie, people have been saying that this book is funny and that this character is really lovable, and maybe if you read more into the story, like more books, you would really like feel more connected to the character. I feel like there was definitely some potential there, like there were good seeds, and I really like I said, a little bit of the dry humor. Murderbot watches like reality TV, which is really funny and relatable. However, I didn't feel as attached to the characters enough to want to actually continue the series, I don't think. At least I'm not gonna put it on my series to to continue list. I may pick up book 2 sometime in the future. I'm not like hard Xing it, but I'm just saying that like I'm not really intrigued to pick up book 2 right now. I will say that just in general, sometimes when I listen to audiobooks, I feel more detached occasionally than reading things physically, which is something I probably need to work on because I really do enjoy reading audiobooks. I just feel like sometimes I don't feel as connected and in the story. But that's honestly more of a me problem than a book problem. I need to be like working on improving. That way I can listen to more audiobooks and not have that issue. But I mean, overall, this was a really strong story. Like I said, it was interesting perspectives, something I never heard of before. I know I don't read much sci-fi, but I feel like this is a different concept from what I've heard from other people. And there was a pretty good cliffhanger as well. I thought it was interesting and makes you want to get into the next book if you're really into the series. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Kind of loose, you know, I didn't really say much, but overall I'm giving this book 3 stars. And yes, I know that is the third book in this video I'm giving 3 or 3.5 stars. I think I gave all of them 3 actually, to be honest. The more I think about Love Letter Whiskey, the more I just brought it back down to 3 stars, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to love the books that you guys recommended for me. And okay, I only picked 3 and I could have been picking bad ones. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if I don't like a book that you guys love, I don't want you guys to get your feelings hurt. Everyone has different opinions. Everyone can like what they like. These are just like my raw, honest thoughts about the 3 books that I picked for this video. I would be interested in doing it again. So let me know in the comments below if you have a book that you really think I will love and you want me to read. Let me know below and I'll maybe make a part 2 in the next couple of months. But for now, that's gonna call it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe as always. I post new reading content every Thursday. I've been doing a lot of reading vlogs recently. It's been so much fun. And if you want to watch my most recent reading vlog, which was ending the video when I find a 5-star book, I'll put it on the screen right over here so you can go check it out. I love you so much and I will see you next Thursday.